Macmillan Audio presents The Killing Lessons by Saul Black. Read for you by Christina Delaine. Chapter 1. The instant Rowena Cooper stepped out of her warm, cookie-scented kitchen and saw the two men standing in her back hallway, snow melting from the rims of their boots, she knew exactly what this was. Her own fault. Years of not locking doors and windows, of leaving the keys in the ignition, of not thinking anything like this was ever going to happen. Years of feeling safe. It had all been a lie she'd been dumb enough to tell herself. Worse, a lie she'd been dumb enough to believe. Your whole life could turn out to be nothing but you waiting to meet your own giant stupidity. Because here she was, a mile from the nearest neighbor and 3 miles from town, Ellenson, Colorado, population 697, with a 13-year-old upstairs and a 10-year-old daughter on the front porch, and 2 men standing in her back hallway, one of them holding a shotgun, the other a blade long enough that even in the sheer drop of this moment made her think, machete, though this was the first time she'd ever seen one outside the movies. The open door behind them showed heavy snow still hurrying down in the late afternoon, pretty against the dark curve of the forest. Christmas was 5 days away. She had an overwhelming sense of the reality of her children. Josh lying on his unmade bed with his headphones on. Nell in her red North Face jacket, watching the snow, dreamily working her way through the Reese's peanut butter cups she'd negotiated not 10 minutes ago. It was as if there were an invisible nerve running from each of them to her navel, her womb, her soul. This morning Nell had said, "That guy Steven Tyler looks like a baboon." She came out with these pronouncements apropos of nothing. Later, after breakfast, Rowena had overheard Josh say to Nell, "Hey, see that? That's your brain." That, Rowena had known, would be something like a cornflake or a booger. It was an ongoing competition between the two of them to find small or unpleasant things and claim they were each other's brains. She thought what a great gift to her it was that her children not only loved, but also cagily liked each other. She thought how full of great gifts her life was, while her body emptied, and the space around her rushed her skin like a swarm of flies, and she felt her dry mouth open, the scream coming. Don't scream. If Josh keeps quiet and Nell stays, maybe just rape. Oh, God. Whatever they... The rifle. The rifle was locked in the cupboard under the stairs, and the key was on the bunch in her purse, and her purse was on the bedroom floor, and the bedroom floor was a long, long way away. All you have to do is get through this. Whatever it takes to... But the larger of the men took 3 paces forward, and in what felt to Rowena like slow motion, she had time to smell stale sweat and wet leather and unwashed hair, to see the small dark eyes and big head, the pores around his nose, raised the butt of the shotgun and smashed it into her face. Josh Cooper wasn't lying on his bed, but he did have his headphones on. He was sitting at his desk with the Squire Strat, used, eBay, $225. He had to put in the $50 his grandma sent for his birthday 3 months back to swing it with his mom, plugged into its practice amp, laboring through a YouTube tutorial, how to play Led Zeppelin's The Rain Song, while trying not to think about the porno clip he'd seen at Mike Wainwright's house 3 days ago, in which 2 women, an older redhead with green eyeshadow, and a young blonde girl who looked like Sarah Michelle Gellar, mechanically licked each other's private parts. Girl 69, Mike had said crisply. In a minute, they go ass to ass. Josh hadn't a clue what ass to ass.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?